Hey everyone, welcome to the new episode of the weekly roundup for January 4th, first one of 2024. Hope everyone had a great new year. Let's jump into it. We got a few books to go over today. Not a whole lot, actually, only about 10 or so. A little bit of a quieter week, but we do have some great things to go over. First off, where we get these books from, let's jump into our sponsors here. I get all my books from 204 Comics in town here. Great place if you are in the Winnipeg area, especially for pull lists and all that. Also, they do have a great big back issue section on online as well, so check that out. Also, we're working with the Blaze Comics right now too. We will be reviewing their books as we always do, but we get them a little bit earlier now. They're kind enough to reach out and do that for us. No new books from them this week, but we do have about, I said, like 10 or so to jump into. Let's get into that. If you guys can take a moment, as you see that you're watching this now, either on YouTube or Facebook, take a moment to subscribe to our other media platforms there. So we are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Let's try and get those numbers up in that, and I will dedicate a little bit more time and effort into putting more content on there this year. All right, let's jump into it. Our first book that we have this week, everything I did read a little bit digitally this week, because again, it was a bit of a quieter week. But our first book I did read here was from DC. We got Kneel Before Zod. So we got the long time famous Superman villain finally getting his own series, and it's kind of a year one time kind of tale here. So it kind of gives us the origin or what General Zod was before we've seen him as a Superman villain. But really like this so far. Just shows right from the beginning how he has always been kind of like this evil warlord dictator guy, whether he was with the army or whether after the war and that when he's kind of been excused for his crimes and now he's working with the government to help find new planets and that. So great book so far. Yeah, I quite like this. So if you're a fan of General Zod and want to know about Zod more, definitely check this out because I do believe later on this year there will be a big storyline with Zod. From Boom Studios, we have Pine and Merrimack. Neat book so far. I really like the artwork there, as you can see on the cover. It's about this couple. She's a former cop, and he's a former mixed martial artist. And they both kind of retired from those careers to set up a small kind of private eye detective agency in this small town. Pine and Merrimack is the name of the agency. It's at the corner of those two streets in the town, and it's pretty good. I enjoyed it so far. Looks like this town might be hiding something a little bit bigger than you would expect in a small town in that, and now they're somehow being drawn into it or being kind of exposed to it. So we'll see where it goes from there. Pretty fun. I did like it quite a bit. From Boom. From Marvel, we have Vengeance of the Moon Knight. This directly picks up right after the last of the Death of the Moon Knight stuff going on. Except that, again, that Moon Knight is dying. Mark Spector is dead. So now it's the Midnight Mission. That's kind of his team still around, and they're going to continue functioning moving forward. Kind of doing the mission there, which was protect the people of the night. So they're all working together still, and they come across a new villain that is kind of an old villain in disguise, or maybe an old person in disguise. We don't really know. Kind of shows up at the end there. So if you are a fan of the Jed McKay stuff that's been going on with the Moon Knight, do check this out here. Yeah, it's a great continuation of the Moon Knight stuff, even though Moon Knight himself is dead. From Marvel this week, this is definitely something for the cutesy type of stuff or the family stuff or a younger reader. This is Marvel Meow. This is a collection of all the web series of all these kind of comics about cats, all the Marvel cats in there. So quite a few stories in there. Most of them are wordless, so it's all just got a bunch of pictographs and that. So again, great for all ages. especially younger viewers in that, and anyone that's a fan of cats. So very cute. Along the same idea in that is Kid Venom #1 Origins from Marvel. Again, this too is a collection of a bunch of short Venom stories of this character Kid Venom, who was originally introduced in the Edge of the Venomverse stuff, the recent miniseries there, 6 issues. So this collects, I believe it's 4 or 5 of those mini stories, and I'll put it together in one long coherent story. And this is kind of a new version of Venom, where this it's a young kid that has the Venom symbiote in a samurai Japan time. So kind of neat. I enjoyed it. The artwork's kind of neat. It has a little bit of that anime type feel to it, that manga type of feel. And I think too for this Kid Venom, the reason they did this as well too is because I believe in fairly soon he's going to be getting his own solo series. So this is kind of a way to introduce more people to it. Probably my book of the week. I've been really enjoying the Chip Zdarsky Batman run. This is the conclusion of the Abin Sur stuff, where in Batman's mind he has all these multiple versions, or these a whole multiverse of versions of Abin Sur, which is like the emotionless Batman, the Batman that's kind of a backup personality that takes over when Batman's being not logical enough, or just kind of the crazy ultimate version. So he's trapped in there. He's been dealing with that, and great going on there too. Failsafe turns up again, which was the kind of the Terminator robot that Batman and this personality made at one point to kind of if Batman ever got out of line or took too far, this would come out and stop him. And it's kind of AI like. It's kind of taken over its own identity, and it sees things a little bit different. That Batman needs to be eliminated now to be the best Batman. So a lot of stuff coming together there. Really neat turn at the end that I didn't expect, that we did kind of see coming. That's all been building up to. So yeah, I enjoyed this end of this story arc. The Chip Zdarsky Batman stuff has been awesome so far. And I was lucky enough to meet Chip Zdarsky last summer and spent the whole day with him. He was in town here. So nice fellow as well, too. So definitely check out the Batman Chip Zdarsky stuff. It's been good. From ASM, this is issue 41, and this is again right in the midst of that gang war crossover that's been going on in the Spider-Man tiles, and Spider-Man, Miles Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Luke Cage, quite a few things going on there. She-Hulk even. So now we find out that the Kingpin has decided to join this in the gang war as well too. So we have this huge battle in here with Kingpin and Tombstone and Typhoid Mary and She-Hulk and Spider-Man and just a bunch of goons in that. So just great chaos going on in there. I'm really enjoying this a lot. It's going to shape New York a lot when this outcome does happen. Let's see here. Also from Marvel, we have Beware of the Planet of the Apes. Yes, so Marvel does own the Fox Planet of the Apes stuff again, and they've been doing quite a few series with the property so far. This one here is the start of a mini-series of a prequel to the original film, and it does work pretty good so far. It does involve some of the original characters from the original movie, but it just shows what happens before Taylor lands on the planet, and starts off the Planet of the Apes franchise. So we see the primitive woman that Taylor pals around with in earlier on. We see Cornelius and Lucius and his wife in there as well too, and Dr. Zega as well too. So all these characters that we're familiar with, besides the Taylor character, are all in here. And I don't know how many issues this is. I would assume 3 or 4, but I'm looking forward to the other issues because I myself am a Planet of the Apes fan. From Marvel, we have the beginning of another. They're all just kind of limited series, but volumes of Spider-Man 29.9. This one here starts off with Spider-Man, and he's investigating and finds out that there's kind of a zombie invasion going on. To make it simple, and that his mother has been infected with the zombie virus, and now he's having to deal with it. He ends up teaming up with the Blade of the Future, Blade 2099, and it is again introduces, like I said, the Marvel Zombies of the future, the Marvel Zombies 2099 as well. So again, I believe it's 4-issue series in that. This volume or this series of Spider-Man 29 seems to be all supernatural related. Like you said, we already have Blade and the zombies here, and the further on the issues do things like have um, werewolf monster, and I forget who else is there. There's a man thing as well. A couple other familiar people that you would obviously recognize, but in their 2099 farms. So stay tuned for that. Our last book on this list, and like I said, this is a very short episode this week because there was just a few books, is the Superman 78 series, Metal Curtain. So again, this is the sequel to the one that was out a few months ago. We're already into issue number 3. It's all the same team and writers and artists from the original ones. If you are a fan of the original Superman stuff with Christopher Reeves and that, this is definitely right up your alley because it's a continuation of that. It's basically the sequel to Superman, the sequel to the sequel to Superman 2. So what's happened so far here is it's really hyping up the Cold War, but between the U.S. and Russia, which was very accurate for the time period back in the early 80s there. And Russia has decided to introduce their super soldier, which is Mentalo, which is a guy in a power suit, a mech suit, which is powered by kryptonite. So he defeats Superman in the last episode and this episode here as well, and it kind of see the follow up from that, both politically and on the Superman side. So again, great series so far. I've enjoyed all of these things, and mostly because I see it a little bit biased with my nostalgia there, because I think that Superman is the best Superman. But yeah, pretty good fun so far as well too. All right, everybody. Like I said, a little bit of a quieter week, so faster episode in that. Now, let me know what you read this week. Maybe there was something on my list here that I read that you didn't read or you didn't like, or maybe there's something that I didn't even get to that you did like. So let us know in the comments below. Like I said, if you do have a moment as well, take a second to join our other social platforms there. I'd really appreciate that. And also, if you got a little bit of Christmas cash still kicking around, and you're maybe thinking of what you want to maybe spend it on, check out some of our Nat Daddy exclusives here, whether it's on the Facebook page here or on the website itself. We got a few of these amazing covers still from the last couple of years, and that Josie and the Pussycats recent one as well too. So other than that, check out some of the other videos. Did quite a few Omnis later this week as well. Did a couple the other day. Otherwise, we will see you later on in this new year. Hope you're having a good one. Take care.